Hi everyone, Nima is back with some mobility stuff for you guys for your thoracic spine. The first time we are doing thoracic spine. Today is April 28th, by the way. I've got 3 different exercises for the thoracic spine. So basically by doing those 3 exercises, you are going to do all of those movements that your vertebrae in your thoracic spine can do: flexion, extension, and rotation. So let's get into work. The first exercise is called cat to camel. Basically is for flexing and extending your thoracic spine. So I'm going to go into my all-four position. My hands are on the shoulder and my knees under my hips. Now, right now, I have my spine at neutral position. I'm going to do the camel position first. So in order to do that, I just need to be pushing my spine towards the ceiling and get my head in between my arms like this. Now, from this position, I'm gonna go into my cat position, which is exactly the opposite. So I get my head out and then I'm actively pushing my spine towards the ground, okay? And then back to my cat. Hold for 1 second, and then cat, hold another second, and then keep going. How long are you going to do this? I guess you said it, Laura. 2 minutes. See, I just mentioned somebody. All right, so that was exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, well, I gave it a name. I don't know if that name is going to make any sense to you guys. I call it pull a bow string. So basically, the motion you're going to do is exactly like if you would pull a string of a bow. You're going to use your all-four position. All right, but this time you're going to hold only one hand on the ground. The other hand is going to go behind your head. So this bend, this elbow, I'm going to have to bend it, and I'm going to make sure it's pointing the ground. Now, what I'm going to do, my elbow was pointing the ground, then I'm going to move it up and get it point the ceiling, hopefully if I can do that. But it's not only about this side of my body which is moving, it's also about this hand which is on the ground. When I'm going up, I'm going to be pushing my hand into the ground. So it's gonna look like this. As you're going up, breathe out. A few reps like this from this side. All right, so the most important thing you guys need to do in order to do this one correctly, you do need to remember to be pushing your hand into the ground as you are moving the elbow up. All right, that was number 2. Oh, I didn't tell you how long you need to do that. You guessed wrong. You are not going to time this one. You are going to count your reps, do 20 for yourself. Number 3, again, I gave this one a title too, and I called it overhead half circles. Now, this one is a little bit tricky for me to show you everything in one take, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a few reps facing my camera, and I'm going to do a few reps facing the other way so you can see what is happening, different sides of my body. So in order to do this one, I'm going to have to lay down on my side like this. All right, so what I'm going to make sure, first of all, I'm going to put my body into a right and correct position. Now, my legs need to stay together, my knees are together. Now I'm going to move my knees up towards my chest and hold them anywhere above my hips, all right? So if you have your knees above your hips, you're good. Doesn't really matter how much, okay? Now, you might ask why I'm doing this, because is I'm going to do rotation in my thoracic spine. Remember, we are doing thoracic spine. So by holding my knees higher than my hips, I'm actually getting my lumbar spine out of the game, okay? Now, my lower arm is straight on the ground and it's going to stay on the ground. When I'm doing the exercise, it should not get off the ground. And it's straight, my hand is somewhere in front of my sternum, okay? Now, the other arm is gonna go there. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm paying attention to my knees because I don't wanna get my knees down. When you are doing this, if you don't have enough range of motion for a thoracic spine rotation, then your lumbar spine is going to take over. So automatically you're going to be pushing your knees down, so be careful. So every few reps, just check your knees and make sure they are higher than your hips. All right, let's get into the motion. So my lower arm is going to stay. The top arm, I'm going to go towards my head. So I'm doing this. This is the overhead position, right? Now, I'm going to go out to the other side. As I'm doing that, I'm going to move my top shoulder towards the ground behind my body. So it's going to look like this. While I'm doing this, I don't want to bend my elbow. Ideally, I should be able to touch the ground behind my body with my arm. This exercise is definitely one of my favorite exercises for thoracic spine rotation. So the first 2-3 reps I did, I was not able to touch the ground, but the last 1 or 2, I was actually getting there. I was able to touch. So 2 things you need to remember. Always make sure your knees are higher than your hips, and make sure you do not bend the elbow of the arm that you are actually moving. So now I'm going to turn around and do the same exercise so you can actually see what is happening the other side of my body. Alright, I'm going to go into the position. My knees are higher than my hips, my lower arm is on the ground, and now I can go. I hope you can see. Yeah, you can see. Alright, so the range of motion that I'm going to do with my arm is about 180 degrees, okay? So when I go to the end, I'm going to do the same thing back in order to get my arms together again. Do this 15 for each side, all right? So again, you're not going to time, you're going to just count your reps, 15 for each side, and the combination of these 3 exercises is going to give you a lot of range of motion back, believe me. They are really, really basic and simple exercises, but together they are really, really effective. I call them the big 3. So give them a try. You're not going to need any equipment for doing this 3 mobility exercises for your thoracic spine. Let me know how you do. Seriously, I would love to get some feedback from you guys. Give me some email, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask your questions. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty approachable, so just give it a try. Shoot your emails. I'll be more than happy to help. I'll be back tomorrow morning with the workout of the day. I have no idea what I'm going to design. I'm going to take my time tonight and think about it. I'm pretty sure I'll come up with something good. All right, so take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay tuned, and we talk again.